Hey, this is Deepak Patel and hope you're doing well. And this video is for financial advisors because I work with advisors and help them get clients, and that allow me to learn a lot about what the challenges are for financial advisors today. And one of the things that I see a lot of advisors struggling is door knocking. And door knocking is really the way most advisors get started when they get started in their practice. And that is essentially the way to get clients for them. And there are some companies that really want their advisors to go out in local communities and door knock to build a book of business. And again, these strategies have worked well in past, but I don't think they are very effective today. Now, just with anything, if you don't knock enough home in the community, then you're going to find some clients. And of course, they still work in a sense that if you spend enough time and if you have good skill in terms of talking to people off the door and all that, then most likely you will be able to get some clients. But the reality is, if you do that method, it's going to take you years and years and years before you can get the asset under management book that you want. So what are the options? That's a question that I get asked, and people, the advisor that I speak with, are people who are looking to find alternative. And the good news is, with social media, we almost have a modern day door knocking. And what I mean by that is, again, if you think about what is door knocking, you're just going to, a community, and you're just knocking door and asking them, hey, I am a financial advisor. Do you need any help, right? I'm sure the message is something along that lines. And if you look into how much time it takes to drive and then go door to door, you can essentially do the same thing on LinkedIn, right? Instead of finding a community, you're finding a group of people. It could be in your community, and you find those people, and then you connect with them and you message them, which is essentially door knocking, right? In a sense, it's a modern version of door knocking. Here's the good news. In the traditional door knocking, I don't know about you, but I get very scared when somebody knocks my door during the daytime, especially in the afternoon, not even at night. And I hope that it's just the mailman or Amazon delivery guy or something like that. I'm not expecting anybody to come and sell me anything on my door these days, right? And there are people who show up time to time. And then, most of the time we just excuse ourselves and let them go, right? That's the approach. Because when I'm opening the door to a stranger, I have no idea who that person is. The good news with platform like LinkedIn, let's say, which is a modern day door knocking, would be, when you send invitation to somebody, they will for sure go to your profile, check your profile out, check what you do, your background, your common connections and all of that. And then most likely, if they feel that you can help them, then they will accept. Now again, there is a process to create a good profile. And I cover that, when I work with my advisor client. And once you do that, what now happens is somebody's connected with you and they know a little bit about you, right? So you're not a total stranger. So the power of social media is that the social media platform converts a total stranger that you chose, right? Like you deliberately went and invited this person, and it kind of warms them because now they know a little bit about you, right? That's the first touch point, which happens 24/7, even when you are sleeping. And that's impossible to do with door knocking, like traditional door knocking, right? That's number one. Number two, the moment they accept the connections, now you can send them a message. And again, there's a process. There are different type of message structures, format, different language pattern that you need to use. There's a science to that to get response from people. But in theory, you now send them a message and they can respond back to you, right? With if they're interested, if they're not interested, or whatever the case is. And at that point, they get to learn a little bit more about you, right? So this is a better version because you are now speaking to somebody who is warm. You're now speaking to somebody who you believe does fit the criteria of what you're looking at in your customer base. Because let's say you want to find people with at least $100,000 in investable asset, right? One way to do that would be find people on LinkedIn with professions or titles and years of experience. So if somebody has been working, let's say in information technology industry, because that's where I came from, and if you worked in IT for 20 years, you definitely have more than 100 grand, right? Most likely you have more than $500,000 investable asset. And that's a good hypothesis. And if you just use that hypothesis and connect with 500 people in technology and make the offer, there's a pretty good chance that some of those people would be interested in meeting with you. And that version of door knocking is extremely powerful. And with the help of some automation tool that we can add, where you can automate some of the processes in your business, you can really get a lot of speed that you would not get otherwise with door knocking. So it's not so much about door knocking doesn't work, or you shouldn't do that, or anything like that. It's just pure, simple equation of which one is more efficient use of your time, which one also creates a better experience for the people. Because certainly you don't want to scare everybody in the neighborhood by door knocking in the afternoon, because I'm sure that happens. But so it's not a great experience for the prospect. Versus on LinkedIn, if you have great profile, if you're posting some valuable content, and now when the prospect looks at it, they're actually learning something, right? So the experience they're having even before they decide to meet with you or speak with you, let alone be your client, it's a great experience. And that's the whole point of these emerging media. If you create a better experience for your prospect, you're going to win in any business, right? And that is what these platform allows to do. With some automation, with some data analytics and stuff like that, you really can get very insightful. So I hope you found this useful. If you have some of those challenges and concerns, if you need some help, reach out to me, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you and see if you would be a good fit to work together. So take it easy, and we'll talk later.